Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Whilton Mill. Apologies that I'm whispering at the moment because we're a little bit early with the broadcast. Driver's briefing is still currently going on, so we've got to be a little bit quiet. Not the most jumpy, cheery intro ever to an event, but welcome to Whilton Mill. It's the 10th running of the ICR PLD charity event here at Whilton Mill, and what a turnout we've got. A max of 100 drivers can enter into this event, and of course we're all here to raise charity for the ICR, of course, after the loss of Paulie Davis to his fight with leukaemia in 2011 at the young old age of 37. But everyone, it's a great turnout, and we're going to be racing today for a great cause and beautiful weather and a beautiful turnout. Now, a quick update on kind of how the day's going to work. So we've got heats. There's 3 rounds of 4 heats. Each driver is going to take part in one of those rounds, and then 4 finals later on today. We've got a D final, a C final, B final, and an A final. The top 3 drivers from each of those finals will go through into the next final, so on until we get to our A final, when you crown our top 3. And of course, we couldn't have an event without a glorious Formula 1 car here. The beautiful AMR 21 being presented. Of course, the drivers of Lance Stroll and Sebastian Vettel were very kind to lend us their car for the day, and a beautiful sight it is in the beautiful sunshine here at Whilton Mill. But like I say, we're whispering at the moment. If you are only just joining us, driver's briefing is still happening at the moment, and they will be going out for a photo in just a moment's time. But yeah, being fairly quiet for the time being. I would like to interview some drivers, but again, I can't really do that at the moment because, well, they're all supposed to be listening and paying attention to the driver's briefing. We could get involved in this driver briefing, but like I say, I think I want to leave them to it, really. They're having a good old chin wag. Now, for an update for the ladies and gentlemen at home, we are running on the full international layout here at Whilton Mill, so they're not running on the GP layout, the Grand Prix layout, so they're running on the full international layout, so it's going to be a fantastic day's worth of racing. Oh, the checker flag was the best part of the briefing. But yeah, in terms of the heats themselves, drivers will have 5-minute practice for the first 4 heats of the day. After that, there's no more practices. They'll have 9-minute heats, and then we'll go into the 18-minute finals. 23 karts in those finals as well, and there'll be points up for the grabs, whoever can get into which final. So there'll be lots of them. Hopefully we can chat to the organisers. Of course, this event organised every single year since 2011 by Dan Underhill and Matt Allnut, and of course all the funds go to the Institute of Cancer Research, so a fantastic effort. Of course, they guys are always here. They're always happy with, you know, what happens at these events and how much money they've raised over the 10 years. Of course, at this event they have raised around and over £25,000, and you can donate as well. There is a link in the chat. There's also a QR code on your screen as well, hopefully in the top right-hand corner of the screen. There'll be a QR code, so you can click on that and you can donate what you can give, and it will be greatly appreciated. And the countdown, the update will update as the day progresses, of course. Now, we have got a lot of excellent drivers here. We've got drivers here from BRKC, if you're aware of that. We've got drivers here from Club 100. We've got former Formula drivers. We've got Praga drivers. We've got all sorts. And who can forget, like, one year we had Jake Dennis, a former winner, and a former Formula E race winner as well. He took a race win here at Whilton Mill in this PLD event, and you know, it is great to see such a good turnout of drivers, spectators as well, and of course everyone who's joining us on the live chat. Get your comments in, get your donations in, whatever you can give, please do. And yeah, it will be a fantastic day. I think we're nearly done with the drivers briefing now. Oh no, just a couple more things to go then. Well, I think that's quite a crucial one. No one going up to timing. Quite a crucial one. Molly is in the timing tower, the usual timer lady for Club 100. She's here working very hard at the moment, trying to get all the points and timing sorted out for the day, and hopefully we can bring you all those results. You can head to Alpha Timing as well. You can get the live timing on your mobile device, and you can keep up to track with all the racing that we've got going on today. In terms of actual full amount of drivers that we've got here this weekend, I'm not actually fully sure, but it is a fair deal. And there you go. Dan Underhill is just saying to share the live stream. Please do, because we are currently live right now. So there you go. If you are watching, please do give the stream a like, share it out, get people involved. Of course, the more people we've got watching, the more donations that we can come in, and hopefully we can raise a good, sizable chunk of money for the Institute of Cancer Research. And I think driver's briefing is now actually over. Let's go and find Dan Underhill and have a chat with him now that we can actually talk up before Dan gets away. Look at this. Here are our two organisers here, Dan Underhill, Matt Allnut. Dan, well, what a beautiful turnout it is today. The sun is shining, and well, we've got a great turnout of drivers.
We have 80 people turned up and signed on and ready to go. So yeah, it should be a good fun day.
Now, of course, this is the 10th running of the event. Of course, back in 2011, we did lose Paul Lee Davis, but, you know, talk us through what did it mean for you to actually kick-start this event?
Well, Paul was a really fun-loving sort of guy, and he really loved his motorsport, so I thought what better way of remembering him and raising money for the charity, and also doing the racing that he loved doing as well.
Matt, in terms of, you know, organising the event, how much work does it go into, you know, getting 80 drivers here, an F1 car here, and sorting it out at a circuit?
It's a hell of a lot of work. It's a lot more work than I anticipated. Dan drafted me in to help him out. I thought he'd be fine on his own, but turns out having a second person really does help. To be honest, I can't take much of the credit. I've helped Dan out a bit, but really the main driver for the event's been Dan. He's absolutely pulled everything out the bag. He's the one that pushed for that show car. He's the one that sorted everything out. So, you know, I'm really grateful to be part of it. But my thanks and gratitude to Dan for sorting this all out today.
I mean, you guys both have done a massive effort to the event, and of course a great turnout once again. The sun is shining on us. When it comes to the finals later on, you know, have we got predictions? I mean, Dan, I can see you're not in a race suit. Matt, I can see you're in a race suit. I mean,
race suit later on.
I'm in
Heat 4, so I'm trying to chill out beforehand. Predictions. It's anyone's guess with these karts, to be honest. There's a heavyweight class and there's an open class as well, and it's a 90 kilo entry with a race kit for the heavyweight class. So it could be a few people that are bang on the money. I'm not, but there could be people bang on the money. So we'll see how it goes, really.
Yeah, it will be, I think, a good event. Lots of really quick drivers here as well from many different classes. You know, I think in terms of a day, it should be a good one. Now, of course, there are lots of people watching on the live stream as well. Where can they donate? Because obviously we've got a QR code on the stream as well. How can they donate as well?
So we've got a Just Giving page, so it's justgiving.com/PLD 2022. It should be on the live stream as well. Yeah, put your money in there, and if you come along down here, if you're local, come down. We've got the show car here, we've got brilliant days racing, the bar's open all day. Bring the family down.
Is there any raffles? I love a raffle.
There is. There's an auction at lunchtime, so we have a load of items that we're going to auction off, and all those proceeds will go directly to the Just Giving page.
Excellent. Matt, what heat are you in first?
Heat 4, that's my first one, I think. I should double check. But yeah, we're side by side. Randomly, allegedly. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a really good fun day's racing. Like you've alluded to, there's some really good drivers. There's also some people that are pretty new to karting as well, so it's really great to see that spread of ability and people coming from all kind of experiences coming to race and support the event. So that's I'm really pleased to see that. Getting 80 people signed up is really good, yeah.
Excellent. Well, practice is about to head out onto the circuit, so I think, ladies and gents, we'll get ready. I'll head into the commentary box, boys. Enjoy your day, and best of luck. Well, hopefully we'll raise lots of money.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thanks, everyone.
Hello, my name is Dr. Marco Gerlinger. I'm a scientist and a medical oncologist at the Institute of Cancer Research. One of the biggest challenges in the clinic is that even if we have an effective drug for a certain cancer type, every new drug that's introduced to the clinic eventually fails because cancers have invented a new way of acquiring resistance to that drug. My team's aim is to develop pioneering new immunotherapy approaches for patients with bowel cancer. Immunotherapy harnesses the patient's own immune system to attack a cancer. One of the biggest advantages of immunotherapy is that the immune system can evolve itself and can thereby counter the evolution of drug resistance. We've seen in many other tumor types that this can lead to fantastic responses with long-term disease control and potentially even cure, even in tumors that have become resistant to all other types of treatment, such as chemotherapy or targeted therapies. But the problem in bowel cancers is that immunotherapy has been only effective against a very small group of tumors so far. We're exploring pioneering new treatment options with immunotherapy to change this. cancers and individual patients differ a great deal, and we're trying to identify the treatment that gives the biggest benefit in terms of tumor shrinkage or chance of cure at the lowest possible toxicity, to make the treatment as kind as possible and at the same time as effective as possible. And I think that's the ultimate motivation in the end, to develop new tools to personalize therapy, but also new drugs that are more effective than what we had available in the past and that make our patients live longer. Your support means a lot to us and allows such pioneering new treatments to be developed here at the ICR. Please donate today to help us finish cancer.
Well, like I say, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Whilton Mill, and as you can see, first practice is about to take to the circuit, of course, for their race heat 1. Now, of course, like we were saying, 5 minutes worth of practice. That will only be for the first 4 heats of today, and that will be in Group 1. And then a little bit later on, practice will end, and then it'll be kind of just going into the heats. But welcome, join us, get your comments in. I'm your commentator, Anthony Jordan. I'll be talking you through proceedings all the way through today, and hopefully we do get some guest commentators in. We'll have a good chinwag with some people. But like we say, we've got a great list of drivers and a great bunch of people joining us here today. And you know, you can see there the QR code in the top right hand corner of the screen with the total already raised. Please do keep adding to that total as much as you can. Every little helps, even if it's £1 or 50p or anything like that. It all helps towards raising money for the Institute of Cancer Research, or ICR for short. And for 10 years now, we've been helping raise money for the cause, and like we say, £25,000 has been raised so far, which is absolutely fantastic. You know, we could talk for hours about the sort of events that, you know, they've done. I mean, quoting Robin Plowman from the ICR, you know, he's saying so much of the progress that we've made against cancer is only possible because of the support that we receive from people like Dan and, you know, and Matt, who organise sort of these events. And, you know, they're always really grateful that we continue the fundraising over the years, knowing that we can help support people like Paul, and it's what drives the, you know, the scientists to work every day and, you know, working against the fight against cancer and leukemia and all the horrible diseases that are out there. And, you know, when you see people like this coming down, you know, for a fun day in the sunshine, donating and having a good days of racing, you know, it's absolutely brilliant. Of course, huge thanks to all the sponsors as well. I can see Motorsport Magpie joining us for Pitbox 91 for helping sponsor the trophies. Of course, lots of sponsors involved, and you can see all of them up in the top right-hand corner of your screen. They are kind of rotating around in an order at the moment. So lots of sponsors for this event, which is absolutely fantastic. And throughout the day, I'm sure we're going to see some absolute banditry racing, but calm racing. Calm banditry racing, I think, is the main one. I think is the main one for order. But like we say, Heat 1, who's out there at the moment. Peter Cowan is out there. Martin Robinson is out there. Danny Hall, Chris Bell, Andrew Priest, Andrew Chilton, Chris Wall, Grace Lee Davis, Court Nuttall, Dan Gore, Alan Smith, Ed Bars, Tim Penny, Gus Noble, Sam Dimlow, Matt Tagar, sorry, Sam Dimlow, sorry, I apologise. Matt Tagar, Brianna Percox, Dan Milner, William Yerrell, and Paul Granger out in this first group. Out there for their 5 minutes of practice. Again, ladies and gents, on the live stream, get your comments in. I can see the comments in the commentary box. We are back here karting this weekend. If you were joining us on the live stream yesterday, you'll have seen two-stroke scooters racing around this track. But today, it is 4 wheels dominating the Whilton Mill circuit, racing all day in the heats. Of course, we will be using the Whilton Mill corporate karts. Again, the
4-stroke, I believe, Biz karts. I believe that's what they are. I think they're the Biz karts that they've got out there. So very nice, fun little karts to race around this circuit. But usually these karts would race around the GP layout here, so they would miss the Ashby hairpin. But today they are using the full international layout, so a long old circuit that they've got here. And as you can see there, one of the recovery marshals just darting across the track there. That's at the Ashby hairpin. That we'll see. But like we say, I will apologise if I do miss any drivers' names throughout today. Of course, the kart numbers are not the most visible on these at high speed. They kind of whiz away, and they're only on the front of the karts and not on the sides or on the backs of the karts. So if I do miss the number, and I can't report who the driver is, I do apologise for that. But we will do our best as the day goes on. Like we said earlier on, 3 rounds in total, 4 rounds in each one of these rounds. And of course, there are lots of drivers, 20 in each group as they go through. And of course, as soon as the 3 rounds are done, we'll have a bit of a break after that one. It will be the lunch break, and then we'll go into the finals. The D final will be 20 karts involved in that one. Then the C final will have 23, because the top 3 from the D final will go through into the C final. Then so forth into the A final. So it will be an absolutely fantastic day's worth of racing, and all for a brilliant cause as well. Now, I'm going to bring up a piece of information in front of me. Right, so just going to try and work out a good way of getting multiple layers up on my screen. There we go. So who have we got on this one, and have we got information on these drivers? So, Peter Cohen. Yes, we have got Peter Cohen's information. Oh, lovely. I've just been brought a big old list of heats there. That's absolutely fantastic. So, Peter Cohen, who's out there, he'll be out there in the number 1 kart, which he is. Now, Peter, tall Club 100 Enduro racer, old sprint success, clubman, British Enduro champion. In 2012 with Dan as well. So a very skilled driver that we've got out there. You know, he's raced alongside Dan Underhill in the past, and he'll be racing in this one, so we'll have to see what he does. Peter Cohen currently in practice. Of course, this is just practice. It's not a qualifying. The heats are already set. So unfortunately you won't be able to know who those are, but in practice at the moment is out there. Relatively good times coming in. A lot of people under the sub 1 minute, a few people still over that time, but drivers doing well. Annoying, because it is a practice, they're not in order at the moment, which is quite annoying. We'll cut to the live chat and we'll see who's joining us. Pitbox is joining us. We are proud to play a small part in supporting the PLD 2022 charity kart race at Whilton Mill today. And here's the Live live stream. That was on Twitter joining us. So thank you to Pitbox91. Hello from Indonesia. Well, hello, joining us. I'm not sure what time it is in Indonesia, but welcome, welcome. Glad you're with us today and enjoying the racing. Mandy Davis joins us on the live chat as well, watching along. Good luck to Dylan Davis. Enjoy, have fun, love from Mum. There we go. Mum is watching Dylan Davis. So make sure you are on your best behaviour throughout today. Nathan Jensen Racing joins us as well. Michael Burke joins us from Bathurst, Australia. Again, I always ask Michael what time it is in Bathurst, because I always forget. Usually around this time it's around, well, it's nearly 10 o'clock at night, I think, or a little bit later on than that. So yeah, Michael hopefully will be joining us until the early hours of the morning, and always a regular viewer on the live stream as well. Mikey Theo joins us as well, says good morning to everyone there. So do keep your comments coming in, and of course for any drivers who are here, you have lots of drivers at the sidelines there, get the live stream up on your phone, get your comments in, let me know how your day's going, let me know what you're looking forward to the most as the day goes by. Have we got any more information on any drivers out there? That is a good one. Chris Bell, Club 100 Endurance Champion we have there in Chris Bell, running in the heavyweight class in this one as well. No information on Danny Hall. Andrew Priest. No information on Andrew. Andrew Chilton, we got anyone on him? No, we haven't got anyone. There we go. A lot of drivers didn't provide any information for us, which is absolutely fine. Not mandatory. Dan Gore, though, who's out in this one, running out in the number 10, I believe. Of course, F1000 driver, now in Pragas. Very prone to throwing toys out of the pram. So keep an eye on that one. Is Dan Gore. Well, there we go. Practice over. Drivers will be stopped. They'll be gridded, of course, per their grid order. So it will be Peter Cohen, Martin Robinson on the front row, Danny Hall, Chris Bell, Andrew Priest, Andrew Chiltern, Chris Wall, Grace Lee Davis, Court Nuttall, then it's Dan Gore, Alan Smith, Ed Bars, Tim Penny, Gus Noble, Sam Dimlow, Matt Tager, Rihanna Percox, Dan Milner, William Yerrell, and Paul Granger, the 20 drivers in this race. And of course, happy Easter as well. It is Sunday here. I believe it is Easter. Is it Easter today? It is indeed Easter Sunday. There we go. So I didn't get any eggs this morning. Didn't find any in my house. So that's a shame. I didn't put any out last night for myself. So yeah, didn't stumble across any this morning, unfortunately. There we go. Well, drivers will head round to their grid slots. That will be, of course, our front row that we're seeing there, the number 1 and the number 2. That will be Peter Cohen and Martin Robinson. Of course, our man on the roaming cam, Luke Austin from Alpha Live on the starting grid. Luckily, he didn't get run over there. The brakes working nicely on Peter Cohen's kart. Not playing into a nice little cheeky wave there from Martin Robinson onto the number 3 kart, Danny Hall. Nice thumbs up there from Danny coming across then to Chris Bell. A lot of the heavyweight drivers at the front of this pack. The number 5, Andrew Priest. Again, nice little cheesy grin. Andrew Chiltern, calm, collected. The number 7 of Chris Wall, another heavyweight driver out on circuit. Grace Lee Davis alongside there. The number 9 of Court Nuttall. A nice wave to the crowd. Alan Smith there, happy and cheery. A nice thumbs up from Ed Bars. The 13 of Tim Penny. There's the 17 of Rihanna Percox. And at the back of the grid, the 19 of William Yerrell and Paul Granger will round up the top 20. Ladies and gents, make sure you share the stream so everyone can witness this banditry of karting we're about to witness. I'm sure it's going to be clean racing that we're going to be seeing all the way through today. And make sure throughout the day you scan that QR code in the top right-hand corner of your screen, and please donate generously to, of course, the charitable cause that we are here today. Let's get ready to go racing as well, it's going the wrong way. I'm not sure what that was for, but oh, maybe a kart swap there. So who's that being swapped out? It's the is that the 12? I think that was the 12 that was being swapped out there. So I'm going to make sure I write this down. So the 12 is going into the 28. So that will be Ed Bars is now in the 28. Perfect. There we go. Making sure we mark these down. It was always to be expected. You got to remember with some of these drivers, they're very critical of their karts, and they think, oh no, just something. I've never qualified this low before, even though they're not qualifying at the moment. It was purely a practice there, so clearly not having something. But he's swapped out. Whilton Mill providing a brand new one. But you got to remember, this kart won't be fully up to temperature. Those tyres will be cold now for Ed Bars, so he's going to struggle going in towards turn 1. And of course, turn 1 flat out usually. The Oblivion corner here at Whilton Mill. Absolutely fantastic to see the drivers going in side by side. Green lights are out, and I believe the race is underway. We are indeed. It's a good start then from the front row. Peter Cohen, Martin Robinson getting a good breakaway then as they head up the hill towards Christmas Corner, the first heat of the day. Of course, these heats being 9 minutes long as we go through the day. The finals later on will be 18 minutes, so double the race distance as we head round Christmas Corner. Does everyone get round Christmas? I tell you what, they do. This is good, clean racing that we're seeing here through the first sector. Andrew Priest with the fastest first sector at the moment, 22.082, but of course remember that will change because they did go from a standing start. Everyone getting round, someone going a little bit wide at the exit of the Ashby hairpin there. Unsure, there's Ed Barnes in the middle of the pack, so despite the fact that he had cold tyres, he's still making good progress there as he gets nerfed out wide going through Osiers. Someone getting past, so nice little stuff there, side-by-side action here. Further up the order, the number 7 involved in that one, Chris Wall, one of the heavyweight drivers, going toe-to-toe with the number 4 of Chris Bell, also another one of the heavyweight drivers, a little further back in the pack. There we go, there's a large group of karts screech across the line. The number 10 of Dan Gore involved in that one, but a definite breakaway then at the front of this one as Peter Cohen breaks away clear. 2.1 seconds now is Peter Cohen clear from the pack raging on behind. Fastest lap of the race did go to Peter Cohen on that one, 1 minute .966. Again, remember that will change when they cross the line this time around because that was from a standing start. So that's not a proper representative time of what you'll see out on that one. You can see the total raise in the right-hand corner of the screen, £2,166 raised so far. I would very much appreciate if that number got higher as the day goes on while you're witnessing this fantastic racing, all in beautiful HD on YouTube, so you can check it out. And if it's not HD on YouTube, head to that little cog in the bottom right-hand corner. You can change it depending on your internet speeds at home, which I'm sure is absolutely fine. There we go. Right, so as they go through then, nice side-by-side action there as who's that getting nerfed onto the onto the rumble strips there? It looked like it was the number 8 of Grace Lee Davis. Was getting nerfed out wide a little bit there. Back on track though, and back right behind the pack, going a little bit defensive up into Christmas corner for the second time. Times dramatically have come down at the exit of that one. Peter Cowan with a 57.813, fastest lap of the race. He's now clear by 3.7 seconds. So there we go. Fantastic stuff from that one. Rest of the field going through, looking at the times. Who's gained places in that one? Andrew Chiltern gained 1 place. He's up into 2nd place. Martin Robinson down into 3rd. Brianna Percox is up into P4 in the number 17, so she started 17th on the grid. So a fantastic start. Now up into 2nd place, actually, on the timer screen. Now with the fastest lap of the race, 56.823. Took 1.2 seconds out of Peter Cowan's lead. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that one. So there we go. There's the number 4 on your screen going through. That is Chris Bell. A good little run at the moment, so we'll keep an eye on that battle for the lead as well, because that's going on. Oh, there you go, Ed Barnes. He's not having the best of runs in this one. He's dropping down the order. Like I say, that's what happens when you've got the cold tyres at the early start, so he's going to have to fight his way back through this order, but very defensive in towards the boot section. Everyone getting round nice and clean, not seeing any banditry cutting of corners at the moment as everyone gets round. Another new fastest lap of the race, 56.658 for Brianna Percox. In 2nd place, took another second out of Peter Cowan's lead. That gap now down to 2.9 seconds. 4 minutes elapsed, 4 minutes to go in this 9-minute heat. Good stuff there out of the Ashby hairpin. See a good scrape there. You see the 18 just in the back of shot, Dan Milner, with his bright yellow helmet, going into shot, wanting to latch onto the back of this group. Again, Ed Barnes just trying to get something out of that battle. Now, what's this one at the front of our screen? This is the 20 and the 6. So this is the battle for 3rd place. This is Andrew Chiltern and Paul Granger. Paul Granger with a brilliant start. Well, he'll have come from 20th on the grid. So from the back of the grid, he's coming through. Nathan Jensen Racing. Anthony, prepare yourself for madness in the live chat on Thursday. Oh, yeah, so I'm sure for Tillotson, yes, yeah. If you are joining us for that one, Tillotson Racing will be joining us on the on Thursday. You can tune in for that one as well on the Alpha Live YouTube channel. Curb warning for Dan Milner, the number 18, so he's got to be careful. You've got to stay off those curbs. This is not your own kart. This is Whilton's kart. They like them not to be on the curb. There we go. 3.5 minutes to go. 5 laps in, and let you see Percox with that 1.8 second deficit has got to close that gap up to the race lead. As we watched here, the battle a little further down the order. Dan Gore in this pack, just been overtaken there by Ed Bars. Gets that move done, but there you go. Gore's coming back. Gore's a quick driver. He knows where to position the kart. They go side by side out the front. Whoa, Ed Bars on that exit curb gets a little bit of air as he goes through, but gets back on it. Contact warning out for Tim Penny as well. The number 13, currently sitting in 5th place at the moment. But a nice scrap here. This is 6th place down to, well, about 9th, 10th place at the moment. So there's a nice train of karts there. Race leaders have closed right up now. Half a second between our 2 race leaders in our first heat, Peter Cowan and Rihanna Percox. Absolutely nothing between them. So hopefully we can break to that one in a moment. But as they go through, final 2.5 minutes left of this first heat of the day. Then we'll be going into heat 2 of Group 1 a little bit later on. They'll have their 5-minute practice, and then their first heat will be taken, and I'm sure it will be just as good as this one. Right, I believe this is now the battle for the lead. There is just 0.3 of a second now between our top 2. Looking over the shoulder there, Rihanna Percox has taken the lead. Peter Cowan now down into 2nd place, so a change for the race lead. A great start for Rihanna in today. Obviously it started on the 17th spot on the grid and has made up all those places. Now leading this one and starting to pull away. And Peter, Paul Granger still there in 3rd, some 5.9 seconds further down the road from Andrew Chilton. Tim Penny in 5th place from Ed Barr. Sam Dimlow in 7th place. Dan Gore, Chris Bell, Dan Milner in 10th. Grace Lee Davis there in 11th place. Martin Robinson has dropped a few places. He was running at the front of the grid. Now then number 2 has dropped down into 12th place. Danny Hall as well, not with the best start. Andrew Peace also. You got to remember those drivers were heavyweight drivers, so it was to be expected that they would fall down the order slightly. They are racing themselves, essentially. So Chris Bell leading the heavyweight class in 9th place overall. Andrew Peace, they're still in 14th from Chris Wall. Matt Tager, then it's Gus Noble, Court Nuttall, then it's Alan Smith and William Ural. The top 20 out there. Nice spread out at the moment. Looking there at the number 10 and the 15 scrapping away. That's Dan Gore and Sam Dimlow. They are, well, nose to tail at the moment as they go through increments down in towards the Ashby hairpin. Last 30 seconds left on the timer. I'm not sure it's 9 minute plus 1 lap. I think it's purely when the timer runs out, checker flag goes out. Nathan, the karts are porpoising. Yeah, but I don't think it's to do with downforce. I think it's to do with how technical the track is. You've got to remember there are bumps around Whilton Mill, which was what makes it such a technical circuit to get the grasp of. Last lap board is out. So Rihanna Percox, who's leading the way by 2.1 seconds at the moment, with the fastest lap of the race as well, 56.426. Great running for them so far. So checker flag awaits then Rihanna Percox. So has had a solid running, 19.247 in the first sector. Here we are following the 17 of Rihanna Percox as it goes down into the boot section for the final time. And again, just clipping both those apexes. You miss the 3rd one there. Come round, miss the apex here at Pittsbend. You certainly don't want to hit that one. Don't run out too wide. Checker flag awaits then Rihanna Percox, who takes the first heat win. Peter Cowan will take 2nd from Paul Granger, who crosses the line in 3rd. Andrew Chilton, the number 6, crosses in 4th place. The next battle, Tim Penny, Ed Bars, Dan Gore. They cross the line. Very close between those 2 drivers. Dan Gore holding off Sam Dimlow for 7th place. Sam taking 8th. Dan Milner in 9th. Grace Lee Davis rounding out the top 10 from Chris Bell. Danny Hall, Matt Tager, Andrew Priest, Martin Robinson, Chris Wall, Gus Noble. Court Nuttall crosses in 18th place. Alan Smith will cross in 19th. William Yerrell crosses in 20th place. excellent racing for the... And do you know what? I have to say, relatively clean. Relatively clean in that one. I think they've been well behaved. The driver briefing worked well that they had this morning. So there we go. Karts will be stopped, and I guess they'll reshuffle them out on circuit, and then they'll get the new drivers in on the grid. But yeah, I think that was far too clean for a First Heat charity event. They were told in a long email that was sent out to all the drivers, you know, make sure that you know it is a charity event. Make sure we don't take it too seriously. But I don't know how well that message went across, because I saw drivers out there very early this morning as I was arriving here at the circuit around 8:30 this morning, already doing track walks and walking around and making sure they knew where the track went, even though it's not changed for several years. But there we go. You can see the total raised money on the right-hand side there. It's just increased. We're now up to £2,226. So again, a huge thank you to everyone who has donated so far. Please do keep your donations coming in. The only way new donations can come in is if the ladies and gents out there share the stream out. Get it out there as Bradley Philpott comes along and congratulates your race winner, Rihanna Percox, in that one, who walks back to the pit lane now, and the new group of drivers will come out of course, race 2 in Group 1. Coming out, David Bickerstaff will be out in this one, Bradley Peck, Howard Kamen in the heavyweight class, Tommy Lee Davis is out there, Sean Barkley, Ben Sanders, Glenn Beard, Matthew Cliff, Ben Bennyworth, also another one of the heavyweight drivers, Matt Tilbury, Martin Joyce is out there, Casey Bolton, then it's Jordan Ladd, Muttley, or Andrew Cowell, Jay Elliott, Chloe Pack, Bradley Philpott, Jack Partridge, Jonathan Elliott, and James Johnson. They'll be heading out for their practice in just a moment. We're going to take a short ad break. We'll be back in just a moment's time.
I'm Rob. I'm a retired GP. I'm 63 years old and I'm living with cancer. My cancer was diagnosed in 2012 and I had been unwell for a short time, so by the time the penny dropped that it was prostate cancer, the cancer had spread to the bone. Oh, I knew quite a lot about it, but I didn't know enough to know that I had it. When you're first diagnosed with cancer, it's the most important thing in your life. And the treatment, the investigation, the getting to grips with it. I looked into it, the drug abiraterone, and I read up about it. And then I discovered that this research had actually been done in London. And through the ICR, the drug had been developed. I sort of thought to myself, maybe 5 years, you know. If I got 5 years out of this, I'd be doing really well. I've been on abiraterone now for 7.5 years, and so far the cancer hasn't come back. It's been great. I often don't think about the cancer now. You know, I just get on and I've got lots of other things to think about. Walking has become a major interest for us, mainly because of where we live. If I've got a dog handy, I can take the dog out for a walk. I've been able to take up things that I didn't do before. I joined a walking group, started getting out walking again. Now we do walking holidays. I'd like to travel a bit more. We're looking at the map and thinking of places that we'd like to go. I live what I would call a normal life with all the pluses and minuses of that, but I do things that keep me busy. I think my treatment has given me a new lease of life. I think life is precious. Taking the tablets is very easy, you know, just take them in the morning. And with the treatment, every day is a new day, and you sort of feel not to take it for granted. Well, for the future, I would really hope to keep living a bit longer, live a normal life, and treat the cancer as something that you cope with, rather than something you fight.
At the Institute of Cancer Research, we're finding new ways to treat cancer that can stop it from developing resistance to drugs and turn it into a manageable or curable disease. Let's finish it, so that people living with cancer can finish what they started.
I'm Dr. Marco Bezzi and I work at the ICR Center for Evolution in Cancer, where my team and I are working to better understand how prostate cancer evolves in patients. Cancer evolution is the major challenge to overcome resistance to therapies. It is a constant process based on the natural ability that cancers have to diversify, to mutate, based on how our body reacts to it. We are now forced to study not only how a cancer reacts to a drug, how it reacts and adapt over time within its microenvironments, and this is difficult because it changes from patient to patient. To fight cancer evolution, we experimentally create laboratory models of the cancer ecosystem. This methodology allows us to study cancer in its complexity at scale in a time frame that could benefit current patients. We have made huge advancements for prostate cancer treatment. However, it is still a leading cause of death of men in the UK. We urgently need smarter and kinder treatments for patients. Please support our research today and give men with prostate cancer and their family hope for the future.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. As you can see, practice 2 is nearly done. Of course, it is purely a practice, it's not a qualifying. So don't worry about where they're going to be on the timing. So we don't need to worry about that. It's purely learning the circuit, learning the karts, getting everything warmed up, ready to get going. Of course, race heat 1 dominated there by Rihanna Percox, who came from 17th on the grid to take the heat 1 win. Who will do it this time around? Obviously, we've got some incredibly quick drivers out there. Drivers from Club 100, from drivers from car racing, sim racing. We've got drivers from BRKC. We've got all sorts joining us here today. So that will be a good one to read. Now, ladies and gents, please get your comments in. Let us know who you're supporting in these heats. If anyone, donations in as well if you haven't donated yet, and if you can, please do. Let's see if we can raise that total amount. Already up to a staggering £2,226 raised, which is an amazing effort by everyone involved so far. But please do keep getting those donations in as the day progresses. You share the racing out as well. And like I say, I can see the comments in the commentary box, so please do keep getting them coming in as we get this first heat, or second heat of the day going. Right, let's see if we've got any information about any of these drivers. So let's go with Martin Joyce. Yes, we have. So Martin Joyce campaign for sprints at Club 100 to have single file starts. There we go. Single file starts in Club 100 in the sprints races. Would that be a good thing to do? What's wrong with side by side? Ladies and gents, in the comments, let us know what you prefer: side by side starts or single file starts. I prefer side by side starts because they're far more exciting. But there we go. Who else have we got in this one? We've got Glenn Beard. Let's see. We've got any information on Glenn Beard. We do. Euro Vice Champion in 2009 for Glenn Beard. So we've got some talent out there. Bradley Peck. What have we got? Bradley Peck. Nothing on Bradley Peck. We've got Bradley Philpott out there. Of course, a lot of you are probably familiar with Bradley. Apparently beaten some bloke called Sebastian Vettel at Race Champions one year. Well, I see Sebastian Vettel's lovely car in the paddock. I don't see Brad's race car in the paddock, so there we go. That's all I'll say about that. No, brilliant stuff, Brad. Very quick driver. Keep a close eye on him. He will probably do fairly well today. Jack Partridge, who have we got there? Have we got any information on Jack Partridge? We do. member of the Aston Martin F1 race team, who probably had some influence in providing the lovely Aston Martin Formula 1 car in the paddock. Anthony, you'd be a good golf commentator. Lovely, thank you. I don't enjoy golf in any way, shape or form, but I'd love to commentate golf. Much more peaceful. Golf is much more peaceful. I'd much prefer that. Ah, look, there you go. You can see in the top corner, karts are coming to a stop, which means we're about to get gridded for race number 2. Of course, this isn't a qualifying session, that was only practice, so drivers in this one have already got where they're going to be starting for their heats. And they obviously will be numbered as well. They're in karts number 1, 2 onwards as well. And I believe the 28 will have changed into this one as well. So I believe the 12 is probably 28 in this. So we'll be ready to scribble that onto our page. Michael back, yeah, side by side. There we go. There we go. Oh, right, okay. So Stephen Hicks joins on the stream. Muttley, or Andrew Cowell, is out now. No longer will the stream remain clean. Banditry incoming. Well, excellent stuff. I'm sure we will see banditry galore. Well, I mean, there's a couple of drivers out there that I'd be aware that the banditry will be incoming. But, like we say, for the ladies and gentlemen at home, front row will be David Bigstaff and Bradley Peck. They'll be rounding up front row in karts number 1 and 2. Howard Kamen and Tommy Lee Davis will round out row number 2. Sean Barkley and Ben Sanders on rows 3. Glenn Beard, Matthew Cliff on row number 4. Ben Bennyworth and Matt Tilbury will round out row number 5. Martin Joyce and Casey Burham on row number 6. Jordan Ladd and Andrew Cowell, or Muttley, the bandit himself, will be on the next row, 13th and 14th. Jay Elliott and Chloe Peck on the next row, 15th and 16th. Bradley Philpotts, Jack Partridge on the next row with Jonathan Elliott and James Johnson on row number 10 at the back of the grid. They'll get themselves lined up and we will get race 2. Keep on underway. Now, David, you're looking the wrong way. There we go. You want to be facing the correct way. Nice little wave there from Bradley Peck. Thumbs up from Howard Kamen, one of the heavyweight drivers out there as well. Number 5 of Sean Barkley with a nice wave. Our cameraman probably going to have to get out the middle of the circuit because it looks like we're ready to get this race underway. No kart swaps in this one. What can be done from the grid? Oh, yeah, Nathan, yeah, you missed out earlier on. It was at the beginning of the stream if you joined us. First thing, you will have seen that there is an Aston Martin F1 car here. It is the AMR 21 that's joining us. It is just a model of a car, we'll say, but it's a very good representation, one-to-one scale of the car, and it looks absolutely beautiful in the sunshine here at Whilton. There's Johnny Elliott. Bradley Philpott being pushed back there. Oh, I think he's in the wrong grid spot. Yeah, he's going to have to turn around. Well, there we go. Just someone to get it wrong. So they're just sorting themselves out now. Okay, yeah, so the 16 wasn't in the grid spot. So Klopek, they're just now in the correct spot. They're being pushed back. The same with Jonathan Elliott and Jack Partridge as well, all back in their correct spots. Well, Aston Martin F1 team, I guess he is. He's got his Aston Martin F1 team suit on. So there we go. Nathan, you live 3 hours away. Doesn't matter. We'll be here after 3 hours of racing. Come on down. You can join us. Nicky Richardson joins us. Yep, Steve Hicks is right. I hope they have enough spare karts if Muttley is racing. There we go. Nicky Richardson, ladies and gents, joins us on the live chat. Keep an eye then out on Andrew Cowell. I've had a lot of warning about him already, so let's see what can happen. He is in 14th place on this grid, so he's mid-pack. That could be the worst place for him then. Hashtag carnage joins us on the chat. There we go. Keep that hashtag coming in as we get ready for heat number 2 then. That's about to get underway. Lights are out. We're off and racing. Good start then from the entire pack. They get away. Already getting sandwiched is Philpott in the middle of the field, but it's a good start from David Bickerstaff. Manages to get the jump on Bradley Peck as they go through Oblivion for the first time. Up the hill towards Christmas Corner. No breakaways there as everyone tucking in. The number 6 coming into shot there. It's Ben Sanders down the inside in the red suit, red helmet, who gets up into 3rd place from the start. So that's a good start from the 6. And a spin. A spin in the background. 2 cuts off the 14. And it's Jonathan Elliott as well. So the 14 of Muttley, Andrew Cowell. Well, Stream, you were right in saying hashtag Carnage. It was the, well, yeah, he caused a crash there. And he took 2 carts out. So perfect. There we go. It's a good start to his day there for Muttley. But he gets back going and he's off and away racing again. There we go. So, of course, 9 minutes heats of these races. Back down the inside there goes, oh, I couldn't quite see the number there, who it was. As they come back round, it's the number 3 who gets it. So it's Howard Kamen. Howard Kamen getting the old switch around there. As it moves back up into 3rd place. Pushes down Ben Sanders. Tommy Lee Davis lost 3 places on the start of that one. Down into 5th place now, but fighting back. Then we've got this pack a little further down. This starts from 7th place onwards. Martin Joyce, Casey Bowen, Ben Bennyworth, John Barkley, Bradley Philpott in this pack. As they go through quite a few. Philpott on the outside, switches back, moves up to 3rd in this group. Ben Bennyworth, you can see him there in the blue suit and with the redness on the sides as well. Also in that battle, the green suit, and all off and wide, it's Philpott, and already gesticulating. Obviously, Philpott is known for his wideness. As, oh, dear me. This is more like it. Jay Elliott on the outside. He is, took to the grass there, and he hit the divot on the outside, but he gets it going again. Back here at the front of the pack, though. Still Bickerstaff leading. Contact warning for Jay Elliott, the number 30. I think that's probably a good call there. 7 minutes to go of this heat. Oh, it feels like we've been going all the way. Oh, beef alert, I think, is correct. I suspect there'll be a lot of beef in this one, but drivers told, remember, behave yourselves out there. Behave yourselves. Bickerstaff, though, he's having a great little run, pulling away at the moment. Joyce getting out of the way there as Philpott comes through. So Martin Joyce tucking in behind Philpott, saying, Philpott saying, follow me. We'll tag along. We'll catch the rest of the pack up. Jay Elliott back down the inside there and nerfing. Oh dear, and off very wide there. Bumping and barging goes. Who is that? The 28 was that, or the 20? 20. It was the number 20. There we go. So that is James Johnstone, one of the heavyweight drivers out there, who's been nerfed out wide several times. Ben Bennyworth again just behind him now as they close up. It's this pack from, I think this is 2nd downwards. So it's Howard Kamen, Ben Saunders, Bradley Peck, Glenn Beard, Tommy Lee Davis on that 2nd pack. Closing away, Philpott with the fastest up of the race, 57.515, very quick, side by side here for 3rd place. Glenn Beard and Tommy Lee Davis having a good little scrap as they go through, but Tommy Lee Davis gets the job done, and Bradley Peck also getting the job done, goes side by side with him as they come down. Oh, keep an eye on Lee Davis, down the inside goes Tommy, gets that job done now, and he's moved up, fighting back, though was Beard, but he can't quite do it, so Glenn Beard down another spot. So it's now Peck, Lee Davis, then Beard in this 3 carts that are just behind. 5 minutes to go. Look at that, new fastest lap of the race. David Bickerstaff, 57.368. That is a very quick time, but it's already bettered once again by Philpott, 57.291, currently sitting in 7th place. Warning for James Johnstone in the number 20. Switching back here, back down the inside. Oh, I say, he got a bit of help there, I think. Did Lee Davis. Gary Beard just, or Glenn Beard, sorry, I should say, just a little love tap in the rear bumper there just to say, hey, come on, you can go a little bit faster than that. Let's go down the inside. 17, Philpott is closing in now. And he's right in the back of this group of 3, the trio as they go through Augiers. We're on lap 5 now. 4 minutes to go in this session. No moves changing here. All a little wide there. for the number 7. Glenn Beard still there in 4th place. Bradley Peck's lost a position now. He's gone down. So go up in towards Christmas corner now. Philpott's managed to get past Bradley Peck. There we go. Also managed to get past Tommy Lee Davis. Moving up the order now. But the group ahead, well, they're very much checked out. They're clear by 4 seconds now, the group ahead. So 3 minutes to go. They're not really going to catch up to David Bickerstaff, Howard Kamen, and Ben Saunders. They're having a good little battle of their own. Sam Taylor joins the screen. Hope the ambulance is there for Glenn. Be getting his letter from the Queen soon. There we go. Why, how old is Glenn? I'll be curious. How old is Glenn Beard out there? I don't know. I've not had the time to meet any of the drivers yet, which is unfortunate. 3 minutes left to go on the timer. New personal best lap times coming in. Apparently he's only around 50. So I think he's got a while to go to get his letter from the Queen, but there we go. Sam Taylor joins in. Get a bit of banter for that one. Rest of the field go through. Let's have a look further down the order. Jay Elliott's from 10th place. Sean Barkley, then it's Matthew Cliff, Martin Joyce, James Johnson, Jordan Ladd, Jonathan Elliott, Ben Pennyworth, Chloe Peck, Andrew Cowell, and Matt Tilbury. See Andrew Cowell involved in that spin at the beginning at Christmas Corner, which collected the 19 of Jonathan Elliott. As they go through again. Glenn Beard just very defensive going into the boot. We've got breaking away from this pack. 2 minutes left. Again, a little bit wide. New fastest lap. Philpott, 56.9. The 2 drivers just behind as well, Jack Partridge and Jay Elliott, the 18 and the 30. They're also closing in. This is the battle for 2nd place on your screens. Howard Kamen and Ben Saunders. Ben Saunders looking down the inside here into the Ashby hairpin. Can't quite do it. Kamen closes the door, runs a little bit wide out at the exit. Doesn't go side by side though through Wilkins. Down they go now in towards Osiers. Line astern. No positions gained or lost. Oh, Glenn's 70th birthday was 2 weeks back apparently, says Nicky Richardson. There we go. So nearly 30 years to go before they're letter from the Queen. You know, it's a long old time. I'm not even 30 yet. So he's got a long one. So there we go. 1 minute left on the timer. Total race still 2,226. They're about to go up as well. Keep those donations coming in, everyone. It is greatly appreciated as we go sub 1 minute in the time remaining. Last lap board will be out this time. Just updated now, £2,316 has been raised. Again, a huge congratulations to everyone who has donated already. Jamstones weight is the number 10, Mark Tilbury. Yes, no, it's Matt Tilbury. So no, it's not Mark Tilbury, it's Matt Tilbury. There we go. 20 seconds, last lap board is out then for Bickerstaff, who's clear by 3.3 seconds now from the 2 behind of Kamen and Saunders. Philpott slowly reeling them in, but he's going to run out of time before he can catch them, or miracles could happen, you never know. The rest of the battles following through, thick and fast. Kamen has managed to actually pull away from Saunders at the end of that one. Some excellent racing from these drivers as they go through. Again, 2 more heats to go in Group 1, then we go in towards Group 2 later on, and we see the return of drivers that we had earlier on. There's your race leader though, David Bickerstaff, as he enters into the boot for the final time. Started on pole, and he's going to take the race win in race number 2 as he crosses the line, receives the checkered flag, and a thumbs up there for David Bickerstaff. Howard Kamen takes 2nd from Ben Saunders. Philpott takes 4th. Beard in 5th place. Peck losing 2 positions on that last lap. So Raugan goes through into 6th place from Lee Davis, Peck, Partridge, Elliott, Barkey, Johnson, Cliff, Joyce, Ladd, Elliott. Bennyworth will take 17th, Chloe Peck, Andrew Cowell and Matt Tilbury rounding out the top 20 out there. Again, a fantastic, well, I'd say a little bit more. That was more than what we'd expect from a corporate race. That was very well, especially the first 2 laps of that one. That was very, very side by side, lots of battling in that one. But they will come into a stop. And David Bickerstaff takes race heat to win. So then they'll get themselves lined up there, and of course the second group will head out onto the circuit in just a moment. We'll go through who it will be in race number 3. James Kerr will be out there, Scott Patterson, Robert Nash, Cameron Taylor, Jason James, Rich Ward, Johnny Goddard, Guy Melly, Callum Braywell, Ryan Evans, John Atkins, Dylan Davis, Zach Shepherd, Oliver Knighton, Sam Bennett, Chris Wharton, Ben Eden, Jem Hentworth, Ian Zumball, and Reese Pancott, the top 20 drivers out there. They're making their way out. They'll get themselves seated, comfortable. Seat inserts are at the ready. I definitely need a seat insert when I go karting, otherwise I fall out of the cart. There we go. There we go. Well, while we wait for the drivers to get into their karts and go underway for the practice, once again, we'll take a short break. We'll be back in just a moment's time.
Hello viewers, yes that's right, Club 100 are proud to announce that we are unveiling a brand new championship, a new race series for drivers aged 8 to 12 years old, the Club 100 Cadet Championship. My name's Steve Brown, otherwise known as Super GT in the world of karting. I've been racing Club 100 for a good 13 years now, so I know a fair amount about it, but today I'm here to learn about the new championship. All right, I am joined by the main man himself, Mr. JV. It's good to see you as always.
Thank you, Steve.
Please tell me about the new championship.
So the Club 100 Cadet Championship is an arrive and drive, high performance race championship designed for cadet age drivers from the age of 8 through to 12 years of age. In fact, they can start racing at the age of 7 in the year of their 8th birthday. And we're kicking off in 2022 with a couple of test days. We're going to call them Academy Days, so it's, the idea is to get the new drivers to come in and try it out for the first time in a pressure-free environment, and then we move on to the 7-round championship, which kicks off in May next year, in fact here at Buckmore Park.
Okay, is there a need for a licence to do this championship?
There is. We are affiliated with Motorsport UK, so we will be running under permit, so drivers will need a licence. It will be the KX licence, which is free of charge and to the driver. And yeah, and obviously what comes with that is all the bells and whistles. You know you're going to get a correctly run race meeting, should we say, with all the support infrastructure in place.
And in terms of cost, what are we looking at?
So we're looking at around about between £190 to £200 per race entry. But look, what you've got to remember is that's arrive and drive. So you're not paying for anything else. There are no hidden extras there. You're not paying for fuel, you're not paying for tyres, you're not paying for damage costs or anything like that. We bring it all to the track. The drivers just turn up and drive.
So we've got the kart behind us here. Can you tell me more about it?
Yeah, so it's a Birrell chassis. So the kart itself is a Birrell kart. And the powertrain we've chosen is the Rotax micro engine. So that it follows the story through to our senior Club 100 with the Junior Max that we use. So tell me, Steve, what do you think of the Club 100 Cadet Championship?
Well, I'm no longer 8 to 12 years old, unfortunately. But if I was, then I think I'd be pestering my parents to get me out in one of these karts for a year. I think it's just a good way to get into karting at an affordable and a fair level. So there we have it, guys. If you are aged 8 to 12 and want to get yourself into high performance karting without having to own the kart, get yourself over to club100.co.uk and register interest for the Club 100 Cadet Championship. Good luck, mate.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gents. We're back. As you can see, race 3 practice is just underway, and I have a guest in the commentary box. Who do we have joining us?
Peter Cowan.
Peter Cowan. Peter, now, you were in heat number 1 earlier on, weren't you? You were in the number 1 kart. You had a good little scrap. You broke away quite early on, but finished second, didn't we, over in that one?
Yeah, I couldn't resist Rihanna's charge at the end.
Yeah. It was an impressive charge.
Well, yeah, I thought I was well away, but
evidently not.
That horrible feeling when you consecutive laps, you look back and you realise just how fast they're catching you. Like,
yes,
okay.
It's a daunting feeling, that, isn't it? Yeah, it's a daunting feeling. How are you today? How's it going, though? Is it all good? We're glad
lovely.
to be here.
Yeah, first time at Whilton for several years. Used to race Club 100, so knew Paul. And so I've done every PLD event thus far. Yeah, knew Paul very briefly, as it happens, but been involved in sort of several different fundraising events for him. And yeah, love to be involved. Dan Underhill does an amazing job putting these on. And so yeah, always excited. And the weather is just phenomenal this year.
Yeah, the weather is great. Here's a look at the starting grid then for race number 3. James Kerr and Scott Patterson will start on the front row. Robert Nash and Cameron Taylor on row 2. Jason James and Rich Ward will round out row number 3. Johnny Goddard and Kim Ellie, Callum Bradwell and Ryan Evans on row number 5. John Atkins and Dylan Davis on row number 6. Zach Shepherd and Oliver Knighton on row 7. Sam Bennett and Chris Wharton on row number 8. Ben Eden and Jem Hempworth round out row number 9. The final row on the grid on row 10, Ian Zumble and Reese Pancott, 19th and 20th on the grid. Now, like we're saying, yeah, a fantastic event, like you say, that we're here raising money. You can see the total there in the top right corner already, £2,360. A fantastic effort already, you probably will agree.
Yeah, it's as I say, Dan manages to get a lot of support through work and through the motorsport community, and it's a great event to be involved with.
Yeah,
and it's nice to see a lot of old faces.
Yeah, really is. Some fantastic drivers here that we've seen, obviously, back in the day, early years of, like you say, Club 100 and BRKC. There's lots of cool drivers who are joining us here today, which is fantastic. And you're going to, go on.
I can see from your comments that the motorsport magpie very astutely worked out that kart 17 is a rocket.
I mean, well, it's had two very quick drivers in it.
Yes.
So that's what it is. You can't necessarily say that the kart itself is a rocket. Like the two drivers that have raced that kart so far have been quick. We'll have to see where it comes in race number 3. Who's in 17 this time around? It is Ben Eden. What info have we got on Ben? Do you know Ben?
Not personally.
Not personally. Well, I can tell you that he's broken his ribs 20 minutes into a 6-hour race by trying to shake and bake. There we go. What will he do in a 9-minute heat at Whilton Mill in this corporate karts, do you reckon?
Oh, well, I was getting shaken around a fair bit, so
it's bumpy out there, isn't it?
His ribs a little bit.
It is bumpy. Well, we got Paul's mum just outside the commentary box. Let's see if we can do that. Yep. So thank you very much for joining me there. I'll take the headphones off you for the brief moment. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in. Do you want to pop that on your noggin? Taking off the hat there. Perfect. There we go. I'll give that to you. And then when we're ready, I'll unmute. If you bring that microphone up a little bit because it's a bit down. There we go. Perfect. Right. So what was your name, sorry?
Jan.
Jan.
Paul's mum.
Excellent. Okay, so Jan, obviously a fantastic event that we've got here.
Yes.
10 years in the running,
yes.
Raising so much money, of course, for the charity.
Awesome.
How does this make you feel?
Well, it's bittersweet being here, obviously, because I used to be here with Paul watching him race, so that's very, very hard. That's the reason his fiancée isn't here today. She wanted me to say that.
Yeah.
It's too difficult for her to come.
Right, okay.
But it is awesome what everybody's doing, especially Dan, the organiser. But as well as myself, Paul's stepdad is here today. His uncle, his nephew and his niece, and his nephew and niece are racing.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so I just know he'd be really, really proud of that.
Yeah, I'm sure he would be, and, you know, absolutely fantastic
and
out
his
there.
best friend Andy.
And his best friend Andy.
Priest is here too. He's racing.
Yeah, perfect. Did you want to join me for the commentary on this one? Do you want to take us through the first lap?
No,
you sure?
To you. You're the expert.
No, not at all. Definitely not an expert in this one. But you know, it's fantastic to see the racing out there. You know, see them going in, and you know, to know that they're all here to help raise money.
Yes,
you know, to help you know, support what Paul had to fight, and I'm sure what many other people around the world and the country are having to fight as well.
Absolutely.
You know, the charity is incredibly grateful, of course, for all the money that's been raised over the 10 years, and you know, I'm sure we'll keep on raising it as the years go on. So that's.
I am so grateful. Thank you to all the racers for taking part as well.
Yeah.
And for everyone who's donated auction prizes all day.
Yeah, I'm sure. We've got lots of people watching at the moment who are joining us in the live chat as well, who are all donating. You, of course, you've got the QR code in the top right-hand corner of your screen, so you can just scan that, donate what you can, and yeah, hopefully we have a great day of racing. But thank you very much for joining me in here. But yes, hopefully you have a good day. But the weather's lovely for us, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, excellent. Thank you very much there. Enjoy the day as we go through. But yeah, some brilliant racing, and like we say, lots of family support here for everyone. And you know, it just shows that it is a charitable event, and there is a reason why we're here today, and you know, it is a great reason why we are here to raise money for the Institute of Cancer Research as well, for them. So as we go through, races clearly underway, and banditry has resumed as the number 4 and the number 11 slide off the circuit, and curbing warnings going out to Scott Patterson and Johnny Goddard straight away already. So 2 karts off at the Ashby hairpin, a very common one that drivers will go off at. It is a very tight hairpin corner as we go down in towards Pitts Bend. We'll end lap number 2. We'll go on to lap number 3, and Rich Ward leads the way from Robert Nash. Number 6 and the number 3. We got Goddard in 3rd place at the moment from Dylan Davis. Callum Braywell in 5th place. Jason James with that curbing warning, the number 5, currently in 6th place from Kai Melly in 7th. Jem Hempworth up into 8th place from 18th, so 10 positions gained already. Overnighting just behind from James Kerr. Ben Eden just behind in 11th place from Scott Patterson. Sam Bennett, Bruce Pancott, Cameron Taylor, Bruce Wharton, Zach Shepherd, Ian Zumble, John Atkins and Ryan Evans out there in total. 6 minutes to go then. Has Johnny Goddard done a 360 no-scope overtake yet? Well, yet to be seen. We're only early into this race. Where is Johnny Goddard in this one so far? Well, he's in third from 7th on the grid, so he's gained a few places. There he is. There is Goddard. He's slowly catching up to Robert Nash just in front. Still plenty of time for that to potentially happen as Jason James once again receiving a curbing warning. He's had quite a few of those. He'll end up with a penalty soon if he's not careful. Tom Butters joins us. Morning all, morning DJ. Loving the coverage as always. Humour coming. We'll try to as they go through. So down in towards the boot section, side by side here. As oh dear, that's not going very quickly. I think someone's had an off in the back of shot. So Kai Melly up into 5th place now, has just managed to get past Callum Braywell. That was the move that we saw there out of Pitts Bend. Here we go, side by side. This could be the 360 no-scope you were looking for. No, it's not. It was clean. It was a clean overtake there by Johnny Goddard. Moves up into P2. Leading the heavyweight class as well. Rich Ward next in the lead of this one. And that number 6 has had a good start. Well, Tom Butters joins us again and says if Rich Ward is leading, at least he can't hit anyone from there. And he also adds that he loves him really. Well, there we go. Well, still plenty of time in this race. You never know. We could catch up to back markers if that is even possible in 9 minutes of heat racing. Anything is possible. But yeah, well said. At the moment, he's harmless in the lead. Here's Rich Ward. Now, who is that catching up? Dylan Davis in the number 12 is slowly catching up to 0.7 of a second out of this front 3. And you can just see that, oh, he's tucking in there. Oh, he's getting the most out of that kart as he can. Aerodynamic efficiency as much as possible. Contact warning going out to the number 20, Reese Pancott. So some banditry happening down further in the order. Looks like Cameron Taylor in the number 4 is coming to the pit lane. From 4th on the grid. He only does them in Wales, it would seem. Oh, there we go. There's a couple of tracks in Wales. What track are we talking about here? Are we talking about GYG? Are we talking about Llandau? Or, you know, what track? We need to specify what karting track in Wales that these no-scope incidents will be happening. 3 minutes left on the timer. Oh, here's a little group further back. Who we got here? Led by the 18. That's Jem Hempworth leading this trio. Ben Eden just behind, and Callum Braywell. Braywell just losing 2 positions on that last lap. And closing in. Oh, here we go down the inside here. Oh, it very much looked like Robert Nash wanted that 2nd place spot back from Goddard. But that's allowed now Dylan Davis to close into the back of this one. Streets Closed Pizza Boy just waiting for my boyfriends Ed Bars and Matthew Davis. Well, Ed Bars was in race number 1 earlier on, did fairly well. He swapped his kart at the beginning, so he swapped it out. But, he did all right. There we go. That's onto this race here that we're watching now. 2 minutes on the timer. Rich Ward under immense pressure now, as Ben Eden sets the fastest lap of the race. 57.299 in 6th place. Closing in, here comes Goddard down the inside for the race lead, gets it done. Pushes Rich Ward down into 2nd place. And again, no banditry involved. It was a clean overtake in towards Christmas Corner. Runs a little bit wide though out of the Ashby hairpin, using all the track available and a little bit more. Davis has got up into 3rd place now. So they've swapped. So Robert Nash down into 4th place. Davis going defensive. Goddard holding his line. Rich Ward following along as well. Zach catching up just behind as well. That's Kyle Melly in the number 8, who's closed into the back of this pack as well. Curb warning for the number 1. James Kerr, currently running in 13th place. Joe Craddock joins the chat. Raced against Dylan Davis in YDC and Club 100. Super quick guy. There we go. Dylan Davis, you got a fan in the live chat. You're only 3rd at the moment. Come on, sort it out. 40 seconds left on the clock. Oh, I say you're 3rd. You're in 4th. Oh, and gesticulating wildly there, and he's losing positions left, right, and centre now is Dylan Davis. So possibly a little bit wide out of the Ashby hairpin. Sends it back down the inside at Osiers. Gets it done. Kai Ellie into this battle as well. Slotting in behind. 20 seconds left on the timer. I suspect last lap board will be out this time for Ronnie Goddard, who is leading the way, or he may have already crossed the... No, he hasn't crossed the line. There we go. So now the last lap board comes out side by side. Rich Ward looking like he was going to go down the inside at Oblivion. That's a bold move on a good day, and well, it is a good day for racing, but yeah, he thought against it there. Defensive again is Dylan Davis, just in the back of shot. This group that we're watching now. Back to the race leaders. Goddard still leaving. Ward right there in second, not letting him break away, having a good little scrap here. No lunges that we're seeing here. One real opportunity to get it done. Is he going to absolutely lick the Sampen centre? He's pointing for the send. No, he didn't go for it. It looked like he was going to point where he was going to position and aim his kart, but it didn't happen. A little wide out of the boot section for Goddard, but it looks like he's got this signed, sealed and done. Checker flag comes out. Goddard takes the 3rd heat win from Rich Ward. Dylan Davis crosses to take 3rd place. Guy Melly, Robert Nash, Ben Eden, Jem Hentworth finishes in 7th place from Callum Braywell. Oliver Knighton, Jason James, Reese Pancott, Scott Patterson, the top 12. Total raised has been updated. It's £2,336. Again, congratulations and thank you to everyone involved in donating. Of course, we can't forget the reason why we are here today, obviously supporting the charity and raising money at the Paul Lee Davis event. Of course, he passed in 2011 at the age of 37 after his fight with leukemia, and everyone here today for 10 years now have been raising money, and over £25,000 has been raised, of course, and the organisers Dan Underhill and Matt Allnut have been doing a fantastic job for those 10 years in making sure that everyone is organised and where they need to be on these weekends. And a huge thank you to Whilton Mill, of course, for hosting these events at their circuit. A beautiful facility in the heart of Northamptonshire as well. So do keep those donations coming in. So we'll update my pieces of paper in here. So Johnny Goddard will take the heat win in Heat 3. Sure, he'll be delighted with that. Well, that's a very scary helmet livery there. I just looked up at the screen after writing down and I saw that. I'd be like, oh, good gracious, what's happened? Brandon Williams' helmet there, a very bright livery design there. Well, they will head out. Our cameraman following suit. Let's talk about who is involved in this one. Of course, this is the final race heat of this group. We'll be then going back into Group 2, and it'll be race 5, 6 onwards. Elliot Alt will be out on this one. Julia Casella out in this one as well. Dom Cliff, Matthew Davis, John Curry, John Maycock, Jonathan Lister, Alex Mitchell, Abby Sanders, Sam Jones, Brandon Williams, Trevor Randall, Ryan Denny, Mark Bramford, Daniel Underhill, Matt Allnut, Stephanie Lutteridge, Pedro Neto, Harry Cowell and Stephen Adams, the 20 drivers in this one. Of course, our 2 organisers are in this one as well. And funnily enough, they're starting line astern. Daniel Underhill and Matt Allnut. Are they going to keep it clean, ladies and gentlemen? They sent an email telling all the drivers to make sure that they do keep it clean. You know, we want clean racing, we want fun racing. Are they going to adhere to their own rules, or are they going to completely ignore their own email and do what they want. We'll see. We'll see what happens. 9 minutes of heat racing will tell us what happens, and we'll find out. But of course, practice is going to be coming underway first. Purely practice. 5 minutes after this one, there'll be no more practices after this one. But ladies and gents, let's not forget why we're raising money here. We'll go to some videos to learn a little bit more about why we are here today.
Cancers of unmet need are cancers which are harder to treat. Their patients have poorer outcomes. They don't do as well as, for example, patients with more common cancer types. These include cancers, rare cancers, but also includes cancers for which standard of care treatments don't work very well, for example, brain tumors as well as pancreatic cancers. I'm a scientist, and my team focuses on a group of cancers of unmet need known as sarcomas. So these are cancers of the connective tissues. I think being diagnosed with a cancer of unmet need, for example, a rare cancer, is actually a very daunting and lonely experience. So as a patient, in many cases your GP doesn't know what this disease is. There's not very much out there in the literature, and the challenge is that we don't really understand a lot about these cancers. The knowledge lags behind many of our common cancers, and therefore there are not very many therapies out there for these patients. Even though they're individually very rare, collectively rare cancers represent 20% of all diagnosed cancers in the UK. So that's 1 in 5 cancers diagnosed every year in the UK. I've had the opportunity to interact and hear experiences from patients as well as the challenges they face, and this is really motivating because it tells you what's at stake and really focuses our mind in terms of identifying, making discoveries that ultimately will impact not just patients but also their loved ones. We don't really just want to make better drugs, but we also want to make kinder drugs. So drugs that not only work on tumors but also improve patients' quality of life. Fundraising is important because it allows us to break this vicious cycle where there just isn't enough funding, there just isn't enough resource into the research, and therefore that has a knock-on effect on not being able to understand the biology of the disease, and have a further knock-on effect on not having new drugs as well as new ways of diagnosing patients. So by injecting resources into research, fundraising will break this vicious cycle and allow us to better understand the biology of these diseases, and which will ultimately lead to better outcomes for our patients. I think the future is very bright. I personally am very optimistic. There's a huge amount of momentum in the field in terms of scientists coming together, using next generation tools, multidisciplinary technologies to develop better ways to identify which patients to give existing drugs, but also identifying new drugs for these patients of unmet need.
I'm Sally, I am 40 and I have malignant melanoma. Cancer is everywhere, and that's something I've always been aware of, but I never expected to get cancer. I definitely didn't expect to get stage 4 cancer and being told that it was incurable. They asked me what I wanted to achieve, and at that point I was 38, and I said I want to turn 40. I spent a lot of time in the early days thinking, like, is this the last Christmas? Is this my last birthday? Is this the last time I'm going to sing happy birthday to my kids? And I took for granted, before having the disease, the fact that I would grow old with my husband, feeling as well as I do, just feels like such a gift. We have been to some amazing places, like in the last couple of years. We've been to Thailand. We spent nearly 6 weeks just touring around Europe, just having the best time. It's important for us to see the world with the kids, make incredible memories, things that we hope that they will never forget, because we just don't know what time we've all got together. My ambition is to be here for school plays, seeing my son get to secondary school, just seeing my daughter grow up, like turn into being like a teenager, a woman. It's just the basic stuff that I just never thought I was gonna be able to achieve.
Let's finish it, so that people living with cancer can finish what they started.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. And as you can see, practice for the final heat in Group 1 is taking out onto the circuit. Let's remind ourselves of who is out there. Elliot Alt, Julia Casella, Don Cliff, Matthew Davis, John Curry, John Maycock, Jonathan Lester, Alex Mitchell, Abby Sanders, Sam Jones, Brandon Williams, Trevor Randall, Ryan Denny, Mark Bramford, Daniel Underhill, Matt Allnut, Stephanie Lutteridge, Pietro Nito, Harry Cowell and Stephen Adams. Here's a look at the starting grid then for you, just so you get a visual understanding of where they will be starting, like you say, in the same order as I just read them out there. On the screen there is the top 3 rows there confirmed. The Alt at the top 6 rows as well on your screen. And again, all these drivers practicing at the moment, not qualifying. So don't worry about qualifying. They will have had that earlier. Or not, when I say they've had that earlier, they didn't really have qualifying earlier. What they had was they had their names drawn out of a hat and then they were put in grids earlier. That's what happened. So there was no physical qualifying. They didn't have to worry about that. Mandy Davis joins us on the stream. Brilliant work to Dylan Davis. You are amazing. Love you lots. There we go. So Mandy's watching, Dylan. Best behaviour again. That's a good first heat for that one. Like we say, yeah, earlier on we were saying about the strongly worded email that was sent out to all the drivers to making sure you you stay calm and you be clean racing out there. I'm sure that does do the trick. There's nothing more, you know, serious than a strongly worded email to drivers to say, make sure you behave yourselves out on circuit. So it's like when you what it was like when I was younger, when, you know, I'd say, oh, I'm in the mood to clean my room, and then your mum comes in and it says, clean your room, and then you don't want to do it anymore. That's what that sort of email does to these sort of drivers. They say, yeah, I'll race clean this weekend, and they get an email saying that, telling them to race clean, and they're like, well, I'm going to be a bandit then. So it has the opposite effect, I think, of what they are trying to actually achieve. But hey-ho, it is what it is. Hopefully some of them will have listened to it. Maybe he won't have. Let's find out then as they go through. So, like we're saying, this is race number 4, then out of 12 races that we've got before the finals later on today. And, of course, this will be accumulating points. Race. And a nice cheeky wave there from Elliot. Video there on the second spot. Oh, dear me. The first dab of the day for Matthew Davis. Hopefully we never see that ever again. Don Cliff on the Don Cliff on the second row alongside him in the number 3. Pulling up, make sure the brakes are working. They are indeed. John Curry pulling up to the line. And a nice thumbs up there from John Maycock on the grid. There you go. Have a little look over at the side there for Jonathan Lister, just saying, yeah, I got this, I got this. What can he do from 7th place on the grid? Ah, now this is the ultimate banditry. Now, the number 10, Sam Jones, sporting the motocross lid. Oh, there we go, and a detachable thumb there for Brandon Williams. Perfect. But yeah, like we're saying, that the full bandit look. Now, in karting well, culture, the ultimate bandit will be the 4-stroke rental kart, the circuit's own suit, the sleeves will be rolled up, motocross helmet on. That is the ultimate bandit. So are we going to see that one out there? There's the rest of our drivers lining up. I believe that's Matt Allnut in his Tim Wilson Motorsport suit. Nice little thumbs up there from further back on the grid. The 19 there as well. Harry Cowell. Stephen Adams at the back of the grid. Oh, look at that, lovely. Blowing the kisses there is Stephen Adams. Oh, and a kart coming through. Who's swapping? Who's swapping here? What kart is that that's being... Ah, so it's Dan Underhill going for the swap. So what kart is he going into? He's going into the 25. So Dan Underhill swapping from the 15 to the 25. pretty sure the 12 is still the 28 out there, so we'll update that on our screens as well. There we go. So, Street Boys closer. MX lid on, skills turned off. There we go. I think that's probably a correct way of putting it. We could be wrong. We could be wrong. He could be the fastest driver out there. Little words going on here. Just listening. You have to press the throttle and turn the kart. That's what I heard there. Yep. I didn't hear anything about pressing the brake, though. So we'll see what happens. Christmas corner full send. No, we're having a kart swap again. We're having another swap. So, potentially, Stephen Adams going for a swap. So, wanting to swap it out. Pushes it back, so the Whilton Mill staff will be eager on the grid. Now, is this tactical? This could be tactical. It could be making everyone wait, just so, you know, their tyres cool down or anything like that. You know, it could be tactical. Yet to be seen. There's Stephanie Lutteridge there, down Underhill with his fresh kart as well, and the number 25. There's a nice visual there to Jules Bianchi. On the back of that driver's helmet there. The eye on the back of Brandon Williams' helmet there, which is very disturbing to actually look at too often. That could be, again, that could be tactical as well. You know, put the driver off behind, maybe. You know, say, and I've got my eye on you, quite literally. The driver behind. That's it. There we go. Nice little look there. Let's make sure that we don't go back to third place or fourth place, Matthew Davis. Hopefully he doesn't dab again for us. Keep your hands on the wheel, Matthew, in the heavyweight class. Looks like we're ready and set at the back of the grid. It was a kart swap. It looks like he went into the 24 then for Stephen Adams. So that's updated. Green lights out. We're off and racing for heat number 4. The final race of group number 1. Up they go. 3 wide at the back of the grid as they go through Oblivion. They all slot into position. Very defensive here, taking the natural racing line, and a spin from 4th. It's the number 4, funnily enough, that goes around Matthew Davis. That dab did him no favours, and that dab doth put him back to the back of the grid. More spinners and more carnage there from second place, as I think that was Julia Casella there going sideways. And he's dropped 1 or 2 places now. So we'll find out who's leading the way. It looks like the number 7 who's leading the way. So Jonathan Lister is now leading the way. And look at that, the ultimate send there. Brandon Williams, well, absolutely ploughed it in towards the boot section and got the job done. So updates, Elliot leads the way from Jonathan Lister, Dom Cliff, Brandon Williams up into 4th place with a curbing warning. Casella in 5th place from Abby Sanders, John Maycock, Stephen Lutteridge, again side by side up and towards Christmas corner. And we're going very wide, switching it back onto the track, saying not giving up those track positions as easy as you would think. The ultimate bandit test, and more banditry in the back of shot. Oh, keep it pinned, keep it on the track. There we go. Oh, there as the motocross that comes into shot there now as well. Oh, there we go. It's all heating up now. Who was that? That was the number 8 who went off. So that's Alex Mitchell. Mitchell on the grass tracking. This isn't rallycross, sunshine. It's karting. Keep it on the tarmac as best you can. 7 minutes to go then of this heat 4. As they go through, curb warning to Jonathan Lister in 2nd place. Let's make sure these drivers slot into position. Right, here we go then. Checking over the shoulder, left and right is Sanders. Looks over, can see number 6 of Maycock there. It's all side by side. It's Underhill. Underhill to the inside. He wasn't going to give that place up easily, was he? No, what is the number of that one? The number 10, isn't it? I think Sam Jones in that car. He's keeping it pinned. Good on him. Keeping it going, keep it clean, side by side still as they go through. Wilkins has to concede the place there. Back here, further up the field. This is Stephanie Lutteridge. And oh dear, a shake of the head for one of the karts and tumbling down the order. Back here, further at the front, this is the battle for 4th place. Stephanie Lutheridge and Brandon Williams line astern as they go through. Side by side for 2nd place now, it looks to be. Don Cliff to the inside, gets it done, nicely timed. It'll down into 3rd place. Jonathan Lister leads the way, albeit it has got a curbing warning. But again, has to keep an eye out for that one. Oh, there's 3 wide into Ashby. That's never going to work as they come out. Are they all going to come out on the track at the exit? I think so. Oh, dear me. Well, that's not right. So, well, I don't know where the driver's gone. But, yeah, that definitely shouldn't be there. I can't even see the kart number, unfortunately. So, driver stopping there. Not sure where the driver is. Ah, so a couple of drivers have had a bit of a knock there at Christmas Corner, I believe. So a couple of karts involved. Cannot see the kart numbers, and I believe the race has been stopped. So not quite sure who was involved at the top there, but we'll try and find out that information as soon as we can. Down Underhill at the scene to make sure the drivers are okay, and of course a lot of the Whilton staff as well. So there we go. We'll find out an update on the drivers as soon as we can, and we'll find out who they are as well, because I'm quite unsure. Obviously, fierce racing here, and close racing. Got a lot of competitive drivers racing here today, and you know, Whilton is a tough old circuit. You've very fast, very undulating track. You know, it goes quite steep uphill up into Christmas Corner, back downhill into the Ashby hairpin as well. And as they go through that top section, Christmas Corner, the Kink and Inkermans, they do get very close up there. So a couple of drivers having a bit of a chin wag there. That's the 8 and the 19. Alex Mitchell and Harry Cowell having a talk about their race and what went on there. Again, ladies and gents, we'll get an update to you as soon as we can. Who was involved at the incident there at the top of the track, but of course, as you saw there, one of the karts without a driver in. Oh, there we go. I'm told one of the karts is the kart of number 2. That would be Casella. Not sure on the other driver at the moment. Still unsure on house conditions, but you just saw there Alex Mitchell shaking his hand. It just shows that, you know, the grip that they have on the wheels. Quite an effort there. Here's a look further round the order. There's the number 6, Aycock, and the 11 of Williams. It's just at the exit. There is Stephanie Lutheridge. And all looking over. Ellie Alt there. And the number 3, nice little wave there from Don Cliff, one of the heavyweight drivers. Jonathan Lister there, just on the start-finish straight, a little further ahead than 2.9 or 2.9 tenths at the moment. He's not that close. Oh, I think these drivers are unaware that they might be getting visited by a cameraman there. That's the first time I've seen Luke Austin run, especially on camera as well. But there's the other 2 drivers there. Oh, we see him running again. It's commitment, that is. It's getting the picture. Albon circuit. Obviously, you can see there that the timer is still running. Nice thumbs up there. Hi, Mum, that was from Matthew Davis. There's the 16 of Matt Allnut. There is our Bandit Sam Jones with his motocross lid. A little further away, number 9, 13 there. Abby Sanders. Ryan Denny. We'll take a short ad break. Ladies and gents, back in just a moment.
Hello viewers, yes that's right, Club 100 are proud to announce that we are unveiling a brand new championship, a new race series for drivers aged 8 to 12 years old, the Club 100 Cadet Championship. My name's Steve Brown, otherwise known as Super GT in the world of karting. I've been racing Club 100 for a good 13 years now, so I know a fair amount about it, but today I'm here to learn about the new championship. All right, I am joined by the main man himself, Mr. JV. It's good to see you as always.
Thank you, Steve.
Please tell me about the new championship.
So the Club 100 Cadet Championship is an arrive and drive high performance race championship designed for cadet age drivers from the age of 8 through to 12 years of age. In fact, they can start racing at the age of 7 in the year of their 8th birthday. And we're kicking off in 2022 with a couple of test days. We're going to call them Academy Days, so it's, the idea is to get the new drivers to come in and try it out for the first time in a pressure-free environment, and then we move on to the 7-round championship, which kicks off in May next year, in fact here at Buckmore Park.
Okay, is there a need for a licence to do this championship?
There is. We are affiliated with Motorsport UK, so we will be running under permit. So drivers will need a licence. It will be the KX licence, which is free of charge and to the driver. And yeah, and obviously what comes with that is all the bells and whistles. You know you're going to get a correctly run race meeting, should we say, with all the support infrastructure in place.
And in terms of cost, what are we looking at?
So we're looking at around about between £190 to £200 per race entry. But look, what you've got to remember is that's arrive and drive. So you're not paying for anything else. There are no hidden extras there. You're not paying for fuel, you're not paying for tyres, you're not paying for damage costs or anything like that. We bring it all to the track. The drivers just turn up and drive.
So we've got the kart behind us here. Can you tell me more about it?
Yeah, so it's a Birrell chassis. So the kart itself is a Birrell kart. And the powertrain we've chosen is the Rotax micro engine. So it follows the story through to our senior Club 100 with the Junior Max that we use. So tell me, Steve, what do you think of the Club 100 Cadet Championship?
Well, I'm no longer 8 to 12 years old, unfortunately. But if I was, then I think I'd be pestering my parents to get me out in one of these karts for a year. I think it's just a good way to get into karting at an affordable and a fair level. So there we have it, guys. If you are aged 8 to 12 and want to get yourself into high performance karting without having to own the kart, get yourself over to club100.co.uk and register interest for the Club 100 Cadet Championship. Good luck, mate.
I'm Olivia Rossines.
And I'm Andrea Sottoriva.
Welcome to the ICR's new Center for Cancer Drug Discovery.
In this building, we are working to outsmart cancer with the world's first Darwinian anti-evolution drug discovery program. Our ultimate goal is to overcome cancer evolution and prevent drug resistance.
The building itself will bring together almost 300 scientists, from cancer and evolutionary biologists and chemists to big data specialists and clinician scientists, united in a shared goal.
This is the area of the building dedicated to the Center for Evolution and Cancer, which I direct. In our center, we focus on one of the biggest challenges we have in cancer therapy today, which is the emergence of treatment resistance. So cancers change over time, and sometimes they become adapted to current therapies. So a drug that may work very well in a first instance, it stops working. We study this process using Darwin's evolutionary principles, with the objective of designing entirely new treatment schedules and new therapies that have the aim of blocking or delaying this process of resistance.
The first two floors of the building are dedicated to biologists like myself. This is one of the many tissue culture labs in the building. We use these rooms to grow cancer cells that can then be used in our research. Leanne is a PhD student studying in my lab. Leanne, can you tell us about your work?
I'm looking at some of the different ways cancer cells become resistant to targeted anti-cancer agents and chemotherapies. We know that there are a small number of cancer cells that are able to survive these treatments, and I'm interested in finding out why that is. If we can understand what is different about these cancer cells, we may be able to identify novel anti-cancer drug targets or develop new therapeutic strategies to prevent them from surviving.
On each floor, there's a collaboration hub. These breakout spaces provide a vibrant environment for scientists to meet, share ideas, and come up with creative solutions.
We're going to bring together scientists developing new cancer drugs with those studying cancer evolution for the first time in the same building.
In the crystallization lab, we crystallize our protein targets, our protein cancer targets, and we complex them with our drug molecules. We, in 3D, visualize the protein structure with the drug molecule bound, and that gives our chemistry colleagues a lot of information on how to design better drugs. To accurately dispense our crystallization reagents, we need robotics, such as this. So this is a robot that actually dispenses our cancer target, and it dispenses it in these well together with the general crystallization reagents. And then after that, we'll seal this plate and store it at a set temperature, and then we wait until the protein crystallizes. Now we have our structural biologists co-located with all of the cancer therapeutics unit staff, and this helps actually the integration with our medicinal chemistry colleagues, and it helps our productivity.
So we're here on the second and third floors of our new Centre for Cancer Drug Discovery, and a large part of these laboratories are given over to medicinal chemistry. And the job of a medicinal chemist is rather like a molecular architect. We're rearranging and arranging the atoms into molecular shapes and trying to sculpt those to fit into clefts on the proteins that cause cancer in cancer cells, with the aim of getting something that stops their cancer-causing function and might be a potential therapy. We work then obviously in collaboration with our biology colleagues on other floors in this building to test those molecules and see how they behave and do they really offer a way forward for treating cancer.
Us as chemists, we'll have to develop the new compounds that hopefully in the future will be the new drugs for cancer treatment. I've been in the ICR for 18 years, and since I started, we've been talking about having a new building, so it's a bit like a dream coming true, isn't it?
Our work as data scientists is playing a key role in the process of discovering targeted treatments for patients with cancer. We are collecting a huge amount of very complex clinical data, like genetics, MRI scans, and much more. We are using computational methods and artificial intelligence algorithms in order to create molecular maps for each patient at the time of the treatment, which is very unique. And this might help researchers here in the drug discovery team and cancer evolution teams to find drugs that might work for that specific patient, or hidden molecular targets that others may miss.
The Center for Cancer Drug Discovery, it's a new exciting opportunity to tackle the problem of cancer drug resistance head first.
All of this is possible due to the generosity of those who share our vision to ensure that cancer patients can be treated long-term and effectively cured. It's our aim that through the work undertaken in the Center for Cancer Drug Discovery and with your ongoing support, that we can make a difference and improve the lives of cancer patients everywhere. Thank you.
I'm Rob. I'm a retired GP. I'm 63 years old and I'm living with cancer. So my cancer was diagnosed in 2012. And I had been unwell for a short time, so by the time the penny dropped that it was prostate cancer, the cancer had spread to the bone. Oh, I knew quite a lot about it, but I didn't know enough to know that I had it. When you're first diagnosed with cancer, it's the most important thing in your life. And the treatment, the investigation, the getting to grips with it. I looked into it, the drug abiraterone, and I read up about it. And then I discovered that this research had actually been done in London. And through the ICR, the drug had been developed. I sort of thought to myself, maybe 5 years, you know. If I got 5 years out of this, I'd be doing really well. I've been on abiraterone now for 7.5 years. And so far, the cancer hasn't come back. It's been great. I often don't think about the cancer now. You know, I just get on and I've got lots of other things to think about. Walking has become a major interest for us, mainly because of where we live. If I've got a dog handy, I can take the dog out for a walk. I've been able to take up things that I didn't do before. I joined a walking group, started getting out walking again. Now we do walking holidays. I'd like to travel a bit more. We're looking at the map and thinking of places that we'd like to go. I live what I would call a normal life with all the pluses and minuses of that, but I do things that keep me busy. I think my treatment has given me a new lease of life. I think life is precious. Taking the tablets is very easy, you know, just take them in the morning. And with the treatment, every day is a new day, and you sort of feel not to take it for granted. Well, for the future, I would really hope to keep living a bit longer, live a normal life, and treat the cancer as something that you cope with, rather than something you fight.
At the Institute of Cancer Research, we're finding new ways to treat cancer that can stop it from developing resistance to drugs and turn it into a manageable or curable disease. Let's finish it, so that people living with cancer can finish what they started.
Cancers of unmet need are cancers which are harder to treat. Their patients have poorer outcomes. They don't do as well as, for example, patients with more common cancer types. These include cancers, rare cancers, but also includes cancers for which standard of care treatments don't work very well, for example, brain tumors as well as pancreatic cancers. I'm a scientist, and my team focuses on a group of cancers of unmet need known as sarcomas. So these are cancers of the connective tissues. I think being diagnosed with a cancer of unmet need, for example, a rare cancer, is actually a very daunting and lonely experience. So as a patient, in many cases your GP doesn't know what this disease is. There's not very much out there in the literature, and the challenge is that we don't really understand a lot about these cancers. The knowledge lags behind many of our common cancers, and therefore there are not very many therapies out there for these patients. Even though they're individually very rare, collectively rare cancers represent 20% of all diagnosed cancers in the UK. So that's 1 in 5 cancers diagnosed every year in the UK. I've had the opportunity to interact and hear experiences from patients as well as the challenges they face, and this is really motivating because it tells you what's at stake and really focuses our mind in terms of identifying, making discoveries that ultimately will impact not just patients but also their loved ones. We don't really just want to make better drugs, but we also want to make kinder drugs. So drugs that not only work on tumors but also improve patients' quality of life. Fundraising is important because it allows us to break this vicious cycle where there just isn't enough funding, there just isn't enough resource into the research, and therefore that has a knock-on effect on not being able to understand the biology of the disease, and have a further knock-on effect on not having new drugs as well as new ways of diagnosing patients. So by injecting resources into research, fundraising will break this vicious cycle and allow us to better understand the biology of these diseases, and which will ultimately lead to better outcomes for our patients. I think the future is very bright. I personally am very optimistic. There's a huge amount of momentum in the field in terms of scientists coming together, using next generation tools, multidisciplinary technologies to develop better ways to identify which patients to give existing drugs, but also identify new drugs for these patients of unmet need.
I'm Sally, I am 40 and I have malignant melanoma. Cancer is everywhere, and that's something I've always been aware of, but I never expected to get cancer. I definitely didn't expect to get stage 4 cancer and being told that it was incurable. They asked me what I wanted to achieve, and at that point I was 38, and I said I want to turn 40. I spent a lot of time in the early days thinking, like, is this the last Christmas? Is this my last birthday? Is this the last time I'm going to sing happy birthday to my kids? And I took for granted, before having the disease, the fact that I would grow old with my husband, feeling as well as I do, just feels like such a gift. We have been to some amazing places, like in the last couple of years. We've been to Thailand. We spent nearly 6 weeks just touring around Europe, just having the best time. It's important for us to see the world with the kids, make incredible memories, things that we hope that they will never forget, because we just don't know what time we've all got together. My ambition is to be here for school plays, seeing my son get to secondary school, just seeing my daughter grow up, like turn into being like a teenager, a woman. It's just the basic stuff that I just never thought I was gonna be able to achieve.
Let's finish it, so that people living with cancer can finish what they started.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gents. As you will have seen if you have only just joined us, we are under red flag conditions at the moment here at Whilton Mill due to an incident during race number 4 of Group 1. What we are going to do is we are going to take a small break on the stream. I know we've had a break for a while, but we are going to end the stream for the moment. We will be back, so do stay tuned. Keep an eye on the Alpha Live YouTube channel, again, for when that notification pops up. For when we re-go live, so make sure you stick around for that one. But the lunch break is going to be kicking off now much earlier than originally anticipated, so drivers are now having a break for lunch. We'll be back hopefully a little bit later on today, so please bear with us. But until then, we'll say goodbye for now, and we'll be back later today.